Next up on our Week 9 games in the Big 12, TCU, West Virginia. Before we get to the game itself, can I just thank Sonny Dykes? Now, why would I thank Sonny Dykes? I'm thanking Sonny Dykes for throwing it to the end zone on 4th and 1. I know it was a free play after an offsides, but Sonny Dykes got me the cover, baby. And he hopefully got you the cover on TCU minus 7.5. As I noted, our picks were 3-1 against the spread. And, I mean, that's a bad beat if you had West Virginia plus 7. I admit it. It's a bad beat. If you missed the end of the game, TCU's up 34-31, 20 seconds left, 4th and 1 at the WVU 29-yard line. And TCU goes for it. Offsides on West Virginia, free play. And then Max Duggan tosses it to the end zone. Savion Williams comes down with the ball. And TCU scores a touchdown. They go up 41-31. That's the ball game. TCU covers. I saw Dave Portnoy, live reaction to that, the Barstool owner. He was on West Virginia. And I was just like, yep, no sympathy here for Portnoy. Couple of birds for that guy as far as I'm concerned. See you later, pal. Take a hike. All right, that's why you got to follow our Big 12 picks. We're on fire lately, 9-3 against the spread the last 3 weeks. Just ride them. We're rolling. No sympathy here for Portnoy. You go against us, that's what happens, my man. Sonny Dykes getting it done, covering the spread in a big way. How about that? Now for the game, I got to give West Virginia this. They got off the bus. They showed up. They had some fight. But everything I've seen from West Virginia fans suggests that there is no love lost still with Neil Brown. I don't see how he continues after this season. And this was one of those games where even if Neil Brown had won it, I'm not sure it would have done a lot to convince West Virginia fans that he's the guy for the future. But then you look at the game itself and you say to yourself, okay, I mean, West Virginia led this game early, 7-0, and then they also had a lead of 14-7. But when TCU goes down in the first half, that's where they want you. TCU trailed by 17 and 18 points respectively the last couple of weeks, came back to win the games. So even down, a touchdown in the first half a couple times, I wasn't really concerned for TCU. I was concerned a bit about the spread, but I wasn't concerned about them winning the game. But West Virginia, I mean, they played well. C.J. Donaldson I think he's going to be a stud running back. He already is a stud running back. J.T. Daniels was decent throughout the afternoon. But, the problem for West Virginia still, although they were a little bit better in this department yesterday, they still struggle at times getting to the quarterback. I mean, that's just how it works. And it's been that way all season for the Mountaineers. Now, for TCU, can we start talking about this offense with not just Max Duggan, not just Quentin Johnston, but also Kendre Miller? This guy is the most underappreciated, underrated offensive weapon in the league. 12 carries, 120 yards on Saturday, a touchdown run of 51 yards. Broke the game open. TCU never trailed again after his big touchdown. I'm all good with Duggan and Johnston getting a lot of attention on offense, but Kendre Miller is right there with them. The guy is right at the top of the Big 12 in terms of running backs with Bijan Robinson and Deuce Vaughn, and he gets no attention. And I don't understand why. He's certainly worthy of it, in my book. Worthy of that and a lot more. So this TCU team is clicking, but my question is this for TCU. You're playing with fire every week, and how long can you keep doing that? TCU cannot continue to put itself in early holes. At some point, they're going to lose a game. And, as good as the Horned Frogs are, as great as they played, they're 8-0. Nobody predicted this for this TCU team and Sonny Dykes. You got to get out of the gates faster. It reminds me a little bit, but obviously, not completely synonymous. But in the NFL, I'm here in Kansas City Chiefs. Slow start. And they're fine. You got Mahomes, you got Kelsey, you got that offense, they come back. But it's a lot to ask week in, week out. And here's the difference. In the NFL, you go 12-5, you can get to a Super Bowl. TCU, if they drop one game, they better be the Big 12 champs. You know, if they drop one game in the regular season, they got to then run the table, be a one-loss Big 12 champ, and then also potentially need some help around college football. I hate saying that, but we know how the game is played with the College Football Playoff Committee. Just TCU fans know that as well as anybody. In 2014, they're the third-ranked team in the country. They beat Iowa State 55-3, and they fall in the final rankings to 6th. It's ridiculous. They're not, and I hate that we have to have this conversation, but it's a real conversation to have. So, and TCU at 8-0, any team that's 8-0 in a Power 5 conference should be thinking college football playoff. So TCU's got to figure out how to get out of the rut early, not get off to these slow starts, because at some point you're going to get off to a slow start and you're not going to be able to come back from it. And that is not something I want to see happen for a TCU team that, has an enormous amount of talent. But now, now from here on out for TCU, it's going to be a fascinating final month of the season. Because you've got the other three Texas schools in the Big 12 left. Texas Tech, at Texas, at Baylor, home to Iowa State to wrap up the season. So, and those Texas schools are going to want to beat each other up, no doubt about that.